Is it important to follow traditional festivals or to celebrate them? Of course, it is. These traditional festivals are the embodiment of our roots, of our past, and they keep us connected with our ancestors. They keep us connected with our roots. They make us take pride in our ancestors, in our glorious history. So we always feel connected, like we have a sense of connectivity, we have a sense of belonging if we celebrate these festivals. And like generation after generation, these festivals are observed by the people and they are passed on to the next generations as well. And I think this is a way to honor our ancestors and to honor the great people of the history and the past who have done a lot for our community. Do you think it's important to maintain traditional festivals? Of course, it is. When we follow our traditional or cultural values and we perform the ceremonies or the rituals, I think this is the best way to keep our tradition and culture alive. And also, if we don't follow these rituals and if we don't take pride in our past, in our ancestors, so obviously, like we may suffer from identity crisis. Any community that gets uprooted from its history, from its past, so that community always goes in oblivion. It loses its identity. Difference between your traditional festivals and Western festivals. I think it's not possible to compare two different cultures and their festivals because every culture or every tradition or every community is unique in its own way, and they have for example, if I talk about India, so in India most of the festivals are religious oriented, and we have a great respect for these events, and similarly these kind of things have happened in other cultures as well. So people honor their ancestors and they value their teachings or them, so in certain ways. So I think it cannot be compared. It just depends upon the community and the belief set or the doings of the ancestors only. Do people in your country like to celebrate foreign festivals? I think yes, it can't be denied. Specifically, the youth is much more into celebrating foreign festivals. I think the reason is because they are getting a lot of exposure of other communities, or they are getting a lot of exposure of other countries and cultures through internet. And the festivals like Christmas or Halloween or Valentine's Day and many more, they are like celebrated with a great enthusiasm in my country. Do you agree that the real meaning behind these festivals has been lost? Sadly it's true, because like people are adding more and more materialism into these festivals, and they, even the producers or the companies, they are encouraging people to do a lot of shopping on these festivals or traditions. And so instead of realizing the relevance of these festivals, people now, specifically the young people, they think like it's about exchanging gifts or buying things or decorating their homes only. But I think the ratio of the young people especially is decreasing a lot, like who understand the real meaning behind these festivals, and why do we celebrate them, and what happened on this day in the real sense. So I think they are ignoring all this, and they never try to understand its relevance, or they never try to know like why these festivals are celebrated. They just know the name of the festival, they just know like they have to do a lot of shopping, they have to wear new clothes, and they have to decorate their homes and exchange gifts. But I think it's really pathetic. They're showing no interest in learning about their history or the past or the relevance of these festivals. What is the most popular festival in your country? In India, it is Diwali. So I think Diwali is celebrated by each and every individual, like regardless of the religion, regardless of the region or the community or the belief set, each and every person in India celebrates Diwali. And so this is really a festival of lights, and people are so much enthusiastic about this festival, and even they start preparing for it days before. And like there are so many things that they do. Not only they decorate their homes and exchange gifts, but they perform different kind of rituals and ceremonies on this day. This is really a pious festival in India. All the Indians, regardless of their religion, regardless of their belief set or their region or their caste, they all celebrate it together with a great enthusiasm, with a great vigor, and with a great gusto. Why do more and more young people prefer celebrating these festivals with their friends instead of their family members? I think because young people, when they're with their friends, they have a lot of fun. All the nonsense happens with friends only, and they have a same line of thought, and they enjoy a kind of liberty when they are together. But this freedom, this liberty cannot be enjoyed in a family, because even some people, they hesitate to share everything with their family members, but they find it very easy, and they usually confide in their best friends only, but not their family members. I think this is the liberty, the easiness, or the freedom that we feel with the that we sense with our friends. I think this is the only reason. How do people value their traditional festivals? I think at first, like, they follow them and they perform all the rituals and the ceremonies related to these festivals. Also, they visit to some places which are related to those festivals. They value them with the gathering with friends and family, and with the delicious meal and special food items on that day. What's the difference between the festivals in the past and now? I think there is a huge distinction between the past and the present celebrations of festivals. At first, like in the past, people used to celebrate these festivals in a very simple way. They were more concerned about the values, they were more concerned about the teachings, or the events related to these festivals, or the people even. But nowadays, like, people are more into, they are more into buying things only. They just think like a festival means to have a delicious meal, to decorate their homes, or to do a lot of shopping or wear new clothes only. But it was not in the past. People were more concerned about the ceremonies, they were more concerned about the rituals and the values taught by these festivals, and they were a kind of preserving those values. But nowadays, I think people have become very superficial in this matter. Do you think it's wrong for children not to celebrate these festivals? Yes, I really believe that it's not appreciable if children don't celebrate these festivals, because when they celebrate these festivals, they get to know about their history, about their past, and if we are not encouraging them to learn about their history or the past, they would never get familiar to it. They would never take pride in their history and their culture. I think it would be not only a dishonor to our ancestors, but I think the community or the people who forget their roots, I think they're doomed to fail on certain occasions. I think it's really significant. It's really crucial. It's really important to learn about our history, and like, to keep connected with it. And if we don't, like, encourage our children to keep connected or to value these traditions or cultures, so obviously they would never get familiar with their past or their history, and they would never take pride in it. Also, I think it's really important to them to follow these traditions and cultural values. Otherwise, they would get lost. The values would get lost, and the community would lose its identity.